Hello traders, and welcome to this latest version of the RobotFX Fluid Expert Advisor, which is 7.9. For the newcomers, the RobotFX Fluid Expert Advisor trades with the MetaTrader terminal, and it is an expert advisor designed to trade with the trend and designed to manage a losing trade by hedging it. Alright, for the existing customers, let's explain the changes. So they can stop watching and go to their business. These are, first of all, we have changed the last setting of this option after EA closed trade, which was continue trading, I think. We've changed the definition to do nothing, so it won't be any confusion between this and the option to allow the expert advisor to trade. So basically, if you don't want the expert advisor to remove itself from the chart after it will close a winning trade or a basket of trades, or to close the MetaTrader terminal, then set this to do nothing. And it will search for the next entry and continue trading as usual. Now, about the next entry, we have introduced a new filter, which we call it swing zone confirmation. It has only two settings, the swing zone bars and the pips away from the last swing. And by default it's 20/20, but again you must change them as you wish and accordingly to your chart, your time frame, your pair, and your risk and whatever else, however you think. Don't just use the default settings on any, I don't know, any pair. Now, to explain the swing zone confirmation, let's say the swing zone bars is 20, the pips away from last swing it's 40. If there are no trades opened on the chart, the expert advisor will draw the highest high or the lowest low depending on the trend. If it's an uptrend, as it happens on this chart, the expert advisor will draw the highest high for the last 20 bars. That being the swing zone bars, right? So for the last 20 bars, the highest high happened to be here on this candle. Also pointed out by the channel. Now, if there will be a signal to buy, right? The non-line moving average will change the color from now black into white. That's a buy signal. It will trigger a buy very close to this highest high. And if we trade with the trend, well, we don't want that to happen. We don't want to enter another buy right here on top of this peak, because the move already happened. It's been from here to here and stop. And now we should probably wait for the price to retrace a little more. So we enter the second buy somewhere down here when it will happen, or if it will happen. And it's safer to wait for that instead of just entering another buy. If this doesn't match the pattern, if you are not doing it like this, but you are not trading exactly with the trend, right? Okay, so this is where this filter comes in handy with its second setting, pips away from last swing. If I set this to 40 pips now and enable the expert advisor to trade, as it just seemed to happen now, if the non-lag moving average will change the color from red to white, right here, then this trade signal will be ignored by the expert advisor, because it will only consider the signals that will happen at least 40 pips or 400 points on this chart, at least 40 pips away from the last highest high, which is here. So the expert advisor will consider opening a buy trade, well, somewhere below this line, this horizontal line. Here is where 40 pips away is. And if the non-line moving average will change the color under this line, then yes. And it will still trade with the trend, then yes, it will enter this buy. It will trade like this. But if it will happen now, it will ignore this change up here, as it is again too high from too close from the highest high. This is opposite for the sell, of course. For the sell, it will draw the line for the lowest low, Let's see if we have a sell on this chart. Yes, we have one on the 1 minute chart. Anyway, let's stay here to explain. If the trend is down, it will draw this the swing for the same number of bars, of course, 20 as we set it in the settings, and we will draw the lowest low candle, lowest lower level, sorry. And from this up, again, we have those 40 pips distance. We're hoping the price to go up 40 pips and more, and then the non-lag moving average change the color and then drop again. Okay, and that's one thing. I've changed the chart actually. All right. What happens if the trend it's in the middle, it's ranging, then it will draw both lines. Just for your information to help you. At this point, you cannot trade with the trend, as if you set the expert advisor to enable the to use the trend detector set to true, the expert advisor will not trade anyway because there is no trend, there's no short trend up or down. If you want to trade now, you should set this to false. But I advise you to follow the trend and to ignore this chart for now. This is it. And again, these lines, the swing lines, appear only when. All right, I cannot delete them. The swing lines appear only when we don't have trades on the chart. If there are trades opened on the chart, then well, the expert advisor, the ideology is that we assume you don't need the swing lines anymore, and we don't need to load them on the chart. So it's better to have a clean chart to see what's happening, right? So that's the latest addition about this in this expert advisor, and we like to see it as an improvement. Maybe we can see it more clear in testing. I don't know why I chose this colors, green on black. Is it? No, this is green on black. I lost myself in these buttons. Yellow or black? I think black looks better. Alright, so now we're testing just to see how it works. We have the both lines, the black color, it's the background color, the trend, it's well, it shows we don't have a definite downtrend according to our moving average indicators. And we are waiting to see what happens. Now the strategy tester is a little slow. One reason is because we loaded the non-lag moving average on the chart, and the other reason is that this swing levels are calculated per tick, per every tick. Basically, for every signal that the broker server will send to your computer, the expert advisor calculates it. It's not such a big load on the last or a decent computer. But well, again, in the strategy tester, it needs more memory. So that's why it's a little slow. Anyway, it looks like the trend changed into, or it's about to change into an uptrend. The price started to rise. And we are waiting and waiting and waiting for the non-line moving average to change the color. And for the trend to be a background color to be a definite green. Excuse me, it just happened. Okay, so here it happened, as you can see. the non-lag moving average changed the color. It normally should have, without this option, I mean, with the pips away from the last swing set to 20. If we would have set it to 0, it would be like we don't use this filter. And then the non-lag move, the expert advisor would have opened a buy here, which is already on top of the peak, right? And well, normally we don't want that. Again, it depends on case to case. The price can as well just jump high from here, and it would have been a winning trade. But like if most of the people won't enter a buy now. They will wait for a confirmation for the price to swing down, right? And yeah, you see what I've said. We never know what will happen with the price. That's Forex. Looks like it's about to change again, but too close to the last highest high, or no? And then it's changed the color. Oh no, and now we have an uptrend. And then we had another entry signal according to this expert advisor and the non-lag moving average indicator. And this time it was lower than 20 pips. It was 35 pips lower than the last highest high. So that was a valid entry according to these settings. And the expert advisor opened the trade, as you can see. Already placed the stop loss, so we cannot lose it anymore. But hopefully we will win something. And yes, we did win. We did win, sorry. Looks like we'll have another trade. Yes, it happened again. Again, it was a valid one. The price, the signal was more than 20 pips below the last highest high. So the expert advisor allowed the trade to open. And basically, this is how you want to trade with the trend. And another one. Same. More than 20 pips lower. That was a valid trade. And that was a better trade. Looks like another, yes, another one opens. And closed. Now, trading with the trend, that's another discussion. Many traders used to, well, open a trade buy here, let's say, and then let it run until I don't know when, and just keep moving the stop loss. I personally prefer to exit as soon as the price starts to reverse. That's why this expert advisor is the best for me. That gives me the opportunity to, well, trade this every single swing. And sometimes I even make more money or more pips trading like this. And if I would open the trade here and let it go up, well, I would have lost, let's say, in this case, this portion, where I gained 2 times from this distance, let's say. 12 pips here and another 12 pips here, right? So from many points of view, it is better to trade like this, step by step, in steps, but trade with the trend, buy in dips, exit the trade on when the highest high is formed, wait for the next dip to buy. And it looks like the trend is changing now. And now we take into consideration the lowest low swing level. And it should be a valid trade if the price, and it was, if the price was higher, 20 pips higher than this last lowest low based on the 20 bars. And it was 45 pips higher. So that was a valid trade. That was a good trade. Also the others. It was a good entry, but not such a good exit. Well, that was only because of the price. By the way, here it happened again. I don't know if you can see. The non-line moving average changed the color from white into black. The trade wasn't triggered because it was not 20 pips away from the last swing, from the last lowest low level. So this one was ignored. The expert advisor is waiting now for the next trigger, next signal. Again, 20 pips or more away from the last swing. And looks like it's about to happen. Yes, it did. The price was more than 20 pips away from the last lowest low. Stop loss was triggered. Nothing can make us lose this trade anymore. The worst case scenario, the price will reverse, drop the stop loss, close this trade, and cancel the pending order. Anyway, so this is how it works. This is the new thing that this version of the expert advisor brings. I'm trying to open the settings again. Again, the swing zone bars is the number of bars that the highest high or the lowest low is calculated for. That's the number of bars. And then the pips away from the last swing is the pips away from the last lowest low. The price must be higher, further away from this number of pips from the last lowest low for a sell trade to be valid, and for the expert advisor to enter a sell, or let's find a buy signal, or that number of pips away from the last highest high of that number of bars, 20 bars by default, for the expert advisor to open a buy trade by following the same signals, the non-line moving average signals, and moving averages as a trend indicator. I hope you understood. If you didn't and have other questions, then well, of course, send an email on the contact page of the RobotFX.ro website. Here it is. And good luck trading. Bye bye.